One is that we're talking about the system as a whole, and the other is talking about that we're looking at a transformation, not a small tweak. So when we look at No Child Left Behind, really we're not changing the system at all. We're just trying to ratchet up pressure and say this is how we're going to be evaluating you, and if you don't change to meet this evaluation, you will suffer consequences. So really we're not changing the business at hand. We're just standing behind people with a large hammer saying, if you don't get better, you will be punished. So that's a pretty simple response to a complex problem in one issue. And the other is that we're really not doing much of a transformation, nor are we really addressing the system as a whole. It's a broad-ranging program, but we're not dealing with this complex, broad systemic problem in the systemic fashion. We're coming up with a simple solution, which is to try to coerce people or threaten them into making whatever change they have to do. It's almost like saying, this is too complex for me to figure out. You figure it out or else. So it's not really dealing with a complex issue by trying to understand the complexities behind it and to try to change the underlying system. It's more saying that we have to do what we're doing better. And that's one issue, is that we're not looking at big transformation and we're not dealing with the complexities of the system at hand. Likewise, for a charter school or homeschooling, it's addressing small problems. So the argument can be that with a charter school, perhaps they do come up with a really innovative way of doing things that really works effectively, but they exist within school systems, and those school systems are going to exert their pull on the charter school. So I remember at a conference once, we were talking about the new paradigm and trying to create a new learner-centered paradigm. And a member of the audience when I was speaking said, I went to a school just like that here in Indianapolis. You know, we were able to learn at our own pace. We were able to learn in different ways. I was really struggling at my old school, and when I went there, I really did well. And I said, well, that's wonderful. You know, what school is it? And she said, oh, well, it's not like that anymore. And that's the issue that when we look at, you know, systemic change and systems theory, that's what it tells us, that the system is going to exert pulls and try to keep that equilibrium. So we can have a charter school that does really great for a short period of time, but most likely the system around it is going to be working at it constantly to change it, to bring it back in alignment with the rest of the system. That's why we have to look at these problems at a systems level, and when we get down to the school level, we can make some changes, but those pulls from the existing system are always going to be there. There are always going to be those inputs and outputs from the existing system. So you can say, we're going to change our school, we're going to do these revolutionary things, but you're going to find yourself handcuffed by the system that you exist in.